Hello and welcome back to WePC. Now, you know what this is now. We've done enough of them every Friday. It's This Week in Gaming and I'm back. I'm here to run you through what's happened this last week, and we start out with Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, we aren't that far away from seeing its sequel, possibly on the PS5. However, we did get Horizon Zero Dawn ported across to the PC. Now, it's always a really nice thing whenever you get a console exclusive ported to the PC, but sometimes they can go wrong, and this Horizon Zero Dawn port is the prime example of this. It was littered with bugs and issues aplenty. Now, the developers have come out and said they are working on hot fixes to get this patched. However, it's not exactly a great thing when straight out of the gate on a game that's been out for a few years now, it all goes wrong. And you have to think, why is there so many issues porting to PC in this day and age? It's 2020. We've got huge technological advancements. It should not be that difficult, and the ports should not come with as many bugs and issues as we have seen recently with this Horizon Zero Dawn release. Then we got more information this week about Nvidia's RTX 3000 models. Now, we've been waiting for these for a while, and these GPUs look significant. We're still kind of working on estimated features and benchmarks and everything like that, but we are hearing that the latest and flagship model is going to be the 3080 Ti, and what this means is we are looking at a range that is going to be stellar in performance and ready for graphical capabilities to match with console releases that are coming soon. And as the slow march of time continues, we have to say goodbye to another great game, and that great game is Forza Horizon 3, which is being delisted. It's being delisted on the 28th of September. Now, you have until that point to still go and buy and keep the game on the Xbox store or the PC store through Xbox Play Anywhere scheme. It's a great game. We really, if you haven't played any of the Forza games, really do consider it. They are a flagship for Microsoft, and there is a reason why they are. They are just superbly made, well made graphics systems involved as well in them. They look stunning, they perform stunning. We have a rig in our office which runs off Forza as well. We can't say enough about Forza Horizon 3, which is a great game. So September the 28th is when it's being delisted. Go and grab yourself a great game before it does. Now, what is becoming a regular part of these videos is the announcement of delayed games. Now, the main one we heard about this week was going to be Halo Infinite. Now, a lot of people thought this was going to be a launch game with the Series X, and then we saw some gameplay and we saw some footage, and the entirety of the graphics were just not up to the level we thought they were going to be. So Microsoft pulled back and said, we're going to reassess, we're going to sort the graphics out, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, which obviously means it's going to come with a delay. Now, we're not very happy about this because they've had quite a while to get this right now, and it's not exactly like it's a third-party developer. It's Microsoft's in-house teams who have probably been working with the Series X and that specification from the start of production. So you've got to think, what's gone wrong here? We can't say for sure, but then another game that came out and said, we're also not coming out anymore, or anytime soon, that is Vampire Bloodlines 2, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, which again, if you've played Vampire the Masquerade, it's an alright game. I played it, I couldn't really get around the system, and I didn't really like the aesthetic feel, but looking at Vampire Masquerade 2, it is looking like it's going to be a good little game for the people who did enjoy the first one, which I know a lot of people who did and were looking forward to this, but it's now been pushed back. Now, we can only assume why that is. Certain health issues in the world currently plaguing the United States, where a lot of these games are currently in development. Now, Epic Games have been in the news this week. One, for kind of good reasons and one for kind of bad. So we'll start with the good, which was them continuing their giveaway of their back catalogue and games on the Epic Games Store for free. And this week was the turn of Troy, A Total War Saga. Now you had up until 2 p.m. today in British time, that is, or 9 a.m. this morning Eastern Standard Time to grab your hands on this game for free. There was a 24-hour period. If you were following our socials, you would have known about this, so check out our socials, they'll be in the description below, and we keep you updated with more game giveaways, more freebies in our Freebie Friday segment on WePC.com. Now for the bad news, and Epic went directly toe-to-toe with Google and Apple because of the way they changed how V-Bucks were to be bought, and it kind of cut through some of Apple and Google's policies, which they were not very happy about, understandably, because they do take a fee for it being on the App Store, and kind of all went tits up because Apple and Google both removed Fortnite off their respected stores, which led to Epic then countersuing both Apple and Google. Now, if you're asking me for my opinion, and well, you're watching this video, so I'm going to give it to you anyway because I'm the only person here, this was more just a PR stunt for me. Epic knew what they were doing. It's a very clear and defined rule set on both the Apple and Google store, and they've been working on it for so long. They know the rules, they know what they have to abide by. They're not, I don't think, going to be successful, but time will tell, and hopefully they will be back on the Apple and Google Play Store because it's a good game. Fortnite is a good game. It's going a bit stale, sure it is, but it is still a great game to play, especially on mobile. Its portability, where you can still play with other people. So we look forward to it being back on the App Store and on the Google Play Store whenever Epic and Apple and Google iron all these issues out. Now, with the next gen consoles coming out, the PS5, we kind of know when it is, the Xbox Series X, it'll come when it comes. We got told by a lot of developers that if we bought the game on PS4 or on Xbox One, we would get a free next gen upgrade. Now, I love this from the gaming community because obviously we've known and we've heard the rumors for a while, but we still don't know when the PS4 and the Xbox Series X are officially coming out. So we still want to play games. We've still got PS4s and Xboxes in our homes. We still want access to the latest titles, but we don't want to pay, some cases, 50, 100 quid or $100 for a game to then have to pay it again on the PS5 just to play it again in the exact same modes. One of the biggest controversies for me in this is when NBA 2K21 came out and they said, we're not offering next gen upgrades unless you get the really, really pricey top band Mamba edition. Now, I'm going to be getting it anyway because I always get the legendary edition, and you know, because it's Kobe, I'm a huge Kobe fan and I want those limited edition covers. However, even then, we wouldn't be getting the Kobe Mamba Celebration Edition on the PS5. What we'd be getting instead is the standard edition with Dame Lillard on the cover. And granted, in the bubble, Dame Lillard has been doing amazing, but I want the Kobe edition. You know, I want the thing that I paid for originally to be able to play that on the console that I want to play it on. Now, another company and another game that have come out and said they will not be giving next gen upgrades is Control. Now, if you haven't played Control, it has won a ton of awards, and it has won them for very good reasons because it is an absolutely stellar and refreshing game. Its telekinetic powers and its story is pure amazement. Now, I'm not really asked about that going up to the PS5 because if we're being plain and honest, it's been out for a while. If it was a new release, if it was a brand spanking new release that comes out literally the week before the PS5 or the month before, fine, I expect that to then be an upgrade. But Control's out there. Control's been out there for a while. I've played it, I've finished it, and its story is great. I'd want to go back and do it, yeah, in upgraded graphics, but that's taking away from the developers. The developers made this for PS4. And for my case in point here, if I want to enjoy that in updated graphics, as long as it's not the same price point, as long as I'm not paying the same again, maybe you give a discount through a PS Store or through Microsoft Store, I'd be more than happy to pay the same that I paid for Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered, because in essence that's all it is. It's just upscaling the game with better graphics. Now, a lot of people have taken issue with this. Again, rightly so. You're very much entitled to your opinion on what you believe that next gen step should be, revolving games that are currently on next gen. But at the same time, it's not going to make a massive difference to me. I've played the game, I liked it, I thought it was a really good, refreshing, well-made game. And then finally, we move on to Intel, who officially announced a roadmap kind of thing this week, which focused on their first GPU aimed at the gaming market specifically. Now, I'm going to need to read this because it's just a string of numbers. XeHPG, now that's the XeHPG, and I'm assuming that HPG stands for high performance graphics or something along those lines, but we'll have to see how this holds up, because obviously Ryzen and Nvidia and everyone else have kind of got that market on lock, and Intel, well, you're more productivity, and the i5, i9, i7, all of those really good processor chips, but they've never really delved, apart from their Iris sort of categories inbuilt into laptops, they've never dealt into dedicated GPUs. Now, this is going to be interesting, because if this turns out to be really good, it gives AMD a headache, it gives Nvidia a headache, because Intel still have a huge majority market share. They are chipping away at it, don't get me wrong, but if this dedicated graphics system comes into play and it's really good, it's going to cause headaches. If it's really bad, they're not going to care. Really, are they? So we'll just have to see what happens with that. And as always, thanks for watching. Now we'll put some links in the descriptions below to what we've talked about, as well as links to the social if you want to keep updated with the latest gaming news and tech updates. Why not give us a follow? And as always, if you like what you see, I'm not just talking about me, why not consider subscribing to WePC?